With the resurgence of vinyl over the past decade, the value of records has really gone up, something I never thought would happen. And because of that, we're going to take a look at my 10 most expensive records in my collection, so definitely stick around. So my source for the following prices is from discogs. Discogs.com, it's the place where people buy and sell records. It's really the standard for doing that kind of a thing. The valuation is legitimate. Insurance companies even use discogs as a reference for their clients' valuation of their collections. So it's a great site to get these prices. I use it. It's a good thing. You should use it too. Also, the list is arranged according to median market values, though I'm also going to be including the minimum and maximum prices in what I'm listing. The order of these records I'm going to show you are in median market value order, so just keep that in mind. I should also mention that the prices of these records fluctuate from day to day, at least a little bit. So what's interesting about these 10 records I'm going to show you is that they are still my top 10 regardless of how many months it's been, but their order might swap a little bit depending on what day you check into Discogs. So just to let you know that. So with that, let's get to the albums. At number 10 is HELLHAMMER with Apocalyptic Raids. This is obviously the precursor band to Celtic Frost for Tom G. Warrior. Great stuff. Sounds more like a demo, but for metal history, it's a pretty classic album, and it's good in its own right. The interesting thing about this one is that it's a top loader, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and there's also a little bit of an insert here with the lyrics. Looks photocopied, but that's probably the original. The prices are interesting. $10.86 minimum, $90.76 median, and $326.09 maximum. That's quite a variance, I would say. But this is a sought-after record. So at number 10, this is HELLHAMMER. At number 9 is Merciful Fate with their self-titled EP. And yes, I did put a post-it note over the nipples because YouTube. Anyways, this is the black trimmed edition. There's also a white one that's worth a little bit more, but this was pretty great. There is the classic lineup of the band, King Diamond in early makeup. And what's also interesting, speaking of the lyrics from the last record, these are actually looking like they were typed on a typewriter, which is pretty interesting. This is on Ravon Records. I don't know anything else on this label, but this is definitely sought after for sure. The valuation is interesting as well. $52.69 minimum, $96.77 median, and $215.04 maximum. Again, it's a very sought after Merciful Fate record. Of course, Merciful Fate, King Diamond are relevant to this day, so definitely people are still looking for this one. Great drawing, right? Crazy. At number 8 is Danzig with his self-titled debut solo album. You remember Danzig, of course, The Misfits, Sam Hain. This is what happened afterwards. I have my own story about buying this album. I bought it in the store. I saw it in the store. My buddy's like, hey, you should get it. It'll sound just like The Misfits. And of course, it did not. It took me about 6 months to really warm up to this record. I wasn't ready for it at all, but now I love it. So go figure. Anyways, it comes with a gatefold, where they're looking like tough biker dudes, especially Danzig. He doesn't care about you. And great album on, are they Def American at this point? They are. They used to be Def Jam Records, which is when Slayer joined up. But yeah, definitely good album. The valuation is $71.43 minimum, $100 median, and $144.99 maximum. And of course, Danzig's still around doing his thing. Probably a bigger deal now with all the Misfits reunions regarding his stuff, but the solo material is still worth quite a bit, and people are still seeking it out. So there you go. At number 8, Danzig. At number 7 is Seasons in the Abyss from Slayer. Classic album, even though the parental advisory sticker kind of wrecks the artwork a little bit for me. This is also a demo copy, or a promo copy, I should say. Right down here, you can see the writing there. I got this during my college radio days, and some people collect promo copies and prefer them to regular commercial releases. The idea is that since they were pressed first, they sound better I don't know if that's your experience, if it is, or even if it isn't. Let me know in the comments, because I don't really notice the difference. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, this is a great album from Slayer. Larry Carroll did the artwork, of course, like he did for previous records. There's the back with the classic inverted cross theme that Slayer's kind of known for. You might not know that about Slayer. Well, there you go if you don't. This album is worth $54.95 minimum, $100 median, and $149.99 maximum. And again, I don't know for sure if the promo stamp actually increases it or decreases it in value. If you know that, let me know. But that's it. Slayer at number 7. At number 6, we've got the CRO-MAGS with The Age of QUARREL. Great crossover thrash album. Some people call it just a second-gen hardcore album. Take your pick. But amazing album, amazing riffs. If you really didn't get into hardcore in the 80s, you might want to check this out, even especially as a metal guy. You know, it'll really be that kind of gateway album for you. There are the guys. New York hardcore. There it is. Classic tracks, We Gotta Know, World Peace, Show You No Mercy. Goes on and on. Great album. Love this album to this day. For valuation, $92.39 minimum, $105 median, and $149.99 maximum. People do love this record. They're definitely hardcore collectors who are looking for this one because it is a classic. I mean, it's definitely representative of hardcore in the 80s, but especially that second wave that happened. And yeah. So at number 6, CRO-MAGS. At number 5, the mighty Metallica, or at least mighty at one time, depending on your view of them in modern day. This is Kill 'Em All. This is their debut album. This is the Megaforce version, not the Elektra re-release once it got signed to that label. What can you say about this album? It's classic debut. It's Nawabum influence, but it's thrash metal. It's a lot faster than most Nawabum. And of course, they're not from England. They just admired that scene a whole lot. You can hear a little bit of it on here. I think on the demo, the No Life Till Leather demo, which is the demo that preceding this record, you hear a lot of Angel Witch and Diamond Head being channeled. But great record. There's the band again. Also the quote from R. Birch, "Bang that head that doesn't bang." That was not included in subsequent releases, incidentally. The quote is from a fan of theirs. He was a Bay Area thrash fan who would show up at all the shows and headbang like crazy. So the band gave him a little bit of credit there. Yep, Megaforce Records, early release for them. And let's see the valuation here. $50 minimum, $107.50 median, and $169.99 maximum. This might go up in valuation one day, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Metallica is kind of one of those bands, and I'm surprised it's as low as it is. This one's in pretty great shape, so who knows? Maybe it's a bit of an investment. I'd like to think it is. At number 4 is the debut album from Possessed. This is Seven Churches. And yes, it does say Seven Churches here on black raised letters. It's kind of difficult to make out here. There have been subsequent releases where this is colored in, usually in white or red, so you can actually see the letters. But I like that they're hidden. It's kind of a neat thing. There is the band, of course. Bay Area thrash. Great record. Fantastic. And let's see the valuation. $40 minimum, $108.33 median, and $239.99 maximum. Makes a lot of sense. And Possessed are back now with their newest album as of last year, and this might go up as well. It's a classic death metal album. It's kind of death thrash if you haven't heard it before. They get a little more technical as they've gone later, and then back to much more of a death metal sound. But great record, highly recommended. So at number 4, Possessed. At number 3, one of my favorite records in my collection. Of course, I'm a big Overkill fan, so it makes a lot of sense. This is the Overkill EP. This is before they got signed to any real label. I think they're on Metal Storm Records back then or something local at the time. This is an amazing little record. It's got great songs, Rotten to the Core, Fatal If Swallowed, The Answer, and Overkill. These are early versions of these songs, by the way. In case you've never heard it, you should. Metal Storm Records. Where the hell are they now? But yep, original lineup as well. Great little record, and its valuation is $75 minimum, $122.50 median, and $150 maximum. It is more of an EP, I should say, but It's the beginning of Overkill, and it's well worth having. I love this band, so I love owning this record, definitely. At number 2 is Death with Leprosy. This is their second album, artwork by Ed Repka, as you might imagine. Wonderful album, following up Scream Bloody Gore. I think it's a perfect record in a lot of ways. This is before a lot of the progressive stuff for them. They're known a little bit more for that, kind of in modern day, but this is a classic death metal album. It does have a gatefold, which you didn't see a lot for single albums that were metal in the 1980s. That was kind of a 70s thing, and you're seeing a lot more of it now, but back then you didn't see it as much. And there's the lineup in the back. Later, 3/4 of this band would form Massacre, the album From Beyond. Love that album, my God. I'm going to have to cover that album one day in some way, shape, or form. But there's Death. The valuation is $80.54 minimum, $122.50 median, and $235 max. And this is in pretty good shape, so it could fare a couple $100, which is pretty amazing. I don't think I ever thought that when I bought this album when it was new. In fact, how many of these albums do you really think one day are going to be worth a small fortune or an imagined fortune, later in the future? You don't. You just buy them because you love the music or you love the cover art or both. And then you, hope and pray or just luck out, I guess. But anyways, that's it. Number 2, Death. And at number 1, this is Celtic Frost with Morbid Tales. Classic album. This was their move from HELLHAMMER. It's interesting, I kind of start with HELLHAMMER and I end with Celtic Frost. This is also the European version because it's all in red. The US one, I believe the design here is in white. And there's a shot of the band. Great album, Into the Crypt of Rays, Return to the Eve. Classic Celtic Frost all the way around. On Noise Records, classic label. And the valuation on this one is $111.11 minimum, $152.78 median, and $216.67 max. Again, it's a classic album. Tom G. Warrior's still around doing music with Triptychon and some of his other projects. I know he's doing a sort of HELLHAMMER tribute thing. I believe it's called Triumph of Death. That's, I think, currently touring, or he might have just wrapped up touring, I'm not really sure. Check the internet for more details. But I love this album a lot. And it also comes with a fairly thrashed poster, at least mine's pretty thrashed, just to get an idea of that. The lyrics and the highly over Xeroxed pictures, not very well exposed, but definitely quite a collector's item there, despite its awful shape. So there you go. So those were my top 10, but what about yours? What records do you think are worth quite a bit of money? Even if you don't know. I mean, you should check out Discogs to check out the prices, whether you're serious about selling a few or just for fun, just to know if your record collection's worth anything, to other people. Maybe you've got the cool record that no one else has or few people have, and I don't know, maybe I find fun in that. Maybe you do too. Let me know in the comments, whichever way you go with that. Definitely. Also in the comments, you can let me know which of these records are your favorites. Maybe you really love these albums dearly, and you're thinking, maybe I need that album too, and maybe I'm ready to pay an arm and a leg for it, which is probably what you'll do. Anyways, let me know all of that, or anything else, in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. This is YouTube. You know how it goes. You know how I appreciate it, so why not? That's all for now. Take care, and ever forward.